Hello everybody and welcome to my monthly Vietnam update. Vietnam was able to decouple from other markets as a further rebound in economic activity led to local buying demand. The current crisis in Ukraine is expected to have a limited impact on Vietnam's stock market. Other good news include the complete opening up for international tourism as soon as mid-March, which will likely further boost the economy. The AFC Vietnam Fund gained, according to internal estimates, plus 2% in February, outperforming the Vietnam index, which was up 0.8%. Hi, my name is Andreas Vogelsanger. I'm the CEO of the AFC Vietnam Fund. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and switch on the bell so you don't miss any uploads. February's boring performance shows the relative immunity to volatility compared to what we have seen in many other parts of the world. Market press, the advanced decline ratio, as you can see on the bottom of your screen, even improved for the first time in months, which is the result of a refreshed optimism by Vietnamese investors after life returned to almost normal after the abandonment of most COVID-19 restrictions, despite rising COVID-19 cases. The Vietnamese stock market is mainly driven by domestic investors and less influenced by international politics, which is something we certainly like a lot in the current market environment. How stable Vietnam was both in the short term and on a one-year basis shows the comparison with developed markets such as the US, Europe and Japan. The economic recovery is moving ahead as expected, with manufacturing activity and retail sales improving from the lockdown-related lows of last year. The only remaining problem sector is tourism. The Western world's current economic pressure on Russia to stop the military threat against the Ukraine failed, and it's becoming increasingly clear that the world's problems do not get fewer. Almost irrespective of the actual outcome of its crisis, we can expect to see only losers, as with all military proxy fights between the East and the West in recent decades, at least economically. If economic sanctions in any way include China, as some people are requesting, in fear that all sanctioned goods and possibly services to Russia will be circumvented through their new best friend, China, far-reaching consequences for trade could result. Vietnam, despite being a communist country, has leaned economically towards the West in recent years and is historically not known as one of China's best friends, and has always tried to stay, wisely, politically out of most lines of fire over the past few decades. Vietnam has always tried to stay on good terms with countries of all sides, which is probably one of the many reasons for its economic success. The decade-long globalization trend might have seen its peak with COVID-19-related bottlenecks in productions and shipping. But this new crisis could be a net positive for Vietnam, at least for the trade, as the West needs economically and politically reliable alternatives to China, now more than ever. The apparent bigger risk for the domestic economy in the short term could be a slower recovery in international tourism, as broadly hoped for, if widening political conflicts reduces people's desire to travel far away from home or for a holiday, precisely at the time when the country is pushing aggressively for an opening of tourism. Anyway, the impact for Vietnam from the Ukrainian-Russian crisis could be very limited, as neither trade nor tourism with them is highly important. Also, like other tourist destinations in Asia and Europe, Russian tourists have been increasingly sought after in the past 10 years. These were, of course, numbers before COVID-19, so the actual tourist income over the past 2 years is negligible, and the weak Russian ruble and deteriorating purchasing power of the middle class has reduced international tourism already years before COVID-19. With other countries in the region currently opening up more or less aggressively, Vietnam reacted in recent weeks very swiftly, but and is opening up its economy and restrictions, but complete details are still to follow. But proposals are that from the 15th of March onwards, international tourists will only need to present the PCR test before arrival, with an additional test to be done within 24 hours after arrival in Vietnam. After a negative test, then people can freely travel around the country. With the effect from resumption of international tourism is yet to be seen, the recent Tet holiday proved that people are already traveling again in many provinces, and sightseeing places attracted large